Here's what I pack as an artist who paints windows and murals.
Okay, let's go over what I keep in my first set, which is this is the set of bins that I take with me to windows and murals. So typically I take this whole set everywhere, but sometimes I change it out depending on what I'm doing because I don't have a work van that goes in my personal car. So I take baby wipes. I also always have my handy pail, koozies. You never know who's gonna be on the job with you and what the job is like, where you might need to take a little refreshment break. And then I have my chalk markers and my Posca markers. These are all sizes of black and white. I have an Expo pen as well. And then I have stickers. Sometimes I give these out to kids on the street if they're talking and walking, or sometimes I put them on clear containers for branding, just when I'm mixing my own paint and putting them in my own containers and stuff. I have a 25-foot tape measure, scissors. I feel like scissors are everywhere. I have Sharpies, pens, kind of down here. These little things are moisture wicking or absorbers. So I have a ton of these, the little silica things, because sometimes when I'm painting and it rains, my bins are open or it's just moisture, I want it to absorb it because it gets all icky on the inside. These are the stickers that I had made. These are little vinyl, or not vinyl, well, maybe, I don't know, window clings that I put on my windows after I paint them. Depending on the design, if there's not a good place to put it where it seems appropriate, I just write my name still, but I do like these because they can scan my QR code. I have a ton of watercolor pencils. These are what I use to draw out my murals that kind of just wash away as I paint, which is really cool. Window daubers. Sometimes I change this bin out because I usually just use these in the winter. Little finger daubers. These are really good for snow or just dots in general. Eyes maybe, or circles. Paint can openers. I have about 50 of these, so I have a handful in here. Business cards. I always keep those on me because you will always get asked for one. And then essentials. Chocolate. Phone chargers. I have 2 adapters, 2 cords. I have an electric pencil sharpener and then a manual. I have 2 sets of different kinds of batteries in here, typically to replace for this, and then also to replace for my MetaQuest when I use it. Regular tape, actually it's not supposed to be there. Sunglasses, they're pretty scratched up, but I don't really care. I just use them to block sun when I'm painting. A nail brush, thanks to Lauren with Rosemont Lane. That was such a great idea to put in here. And then a mirror. Look at this. This is so cute. This is by Groovy Palettes. Open it. Is there paint on my face? And you'll check. Hi. There we are. So that's nice to have on there. I keep business cards when they're handed out to me as well in here, and then I put them in a place when I get home. A little keychain actually that I got from Suzanne. Feminine essentials, electrolytes, lip color, nail file, more business cards, look at that. Hair clip, and I actually always keep a portable charger in here as well, 1 or 2 that are all charged up. Right now it's charging, so I don't have one in here, but I always have that because my phone runs out of battery really quick. So this is nice because it closes up, and I like that it's clear on the top so I can see it. Cute sticker, thanks Carla. I love putting stickers on all my things. I have a lot too. I have a ton more, I just have not put them on there yet. Love this. Okay, oh, look at that one. Okay, so here, first drawer. These go on a lot of my Behr paints. I feel like I only use them to pour. They really suck at opening the can. I have a bag of bags. So I wrap my rollers and stuff in here, wet paint rollers in here, so it stays wet, especially during the summer months. Oh my gosh. Paint sticks. These are popsicle sticks. They work good for these sample cans, and I get paint on them and then I let them dry and then I reuse them. I have an aerosol mask. This is just kind of an easy on the go. I think this is RZ masks. Yeah. And then change out the filter. This is actually really nice. Garbage bags right here. Always need garbage bags. I have a plastic paint remover for windows, and then I have another small metal one. I have about 3 of these. I lost those. Those are nice for cleaning up lines and stuff after you paint when you're window painting. And then more paint sticks here. Here I have a comb because I use this for my smaller brushes, and at the very height of the ferrule for my paint brushes, this does way better for the tight spaces compared to this. I love this for a comb brush, but These are always too spaced out, so I like the thin ones as well. I have another regular metal blade, and then replacement plastic blades and a roller cleaner here. I think I have cleaners and rollers and all these, pretty much in every drawer. And blades. And then I have fingerless gloves and latex gloves and hand warmers. In the winter, I put on latex gloves, hand warmers on the top of them, and then I put these over them because I still like to feel everything, but still stay nice and warm here. And then I have my handy pail rags. I just got a whole bunch of new ones from the Rooted conference. And then I have chalk. You never know when you're gonna need chalk for marking, especially on cement or other murals like outside. Let's see, sanding sponge, Mr. Clean sponges, and then a regular sponge as well. Second drawer. I have 3 rolls of frog tape right now. I have this, when I lay down my speed drops from Zebra, I actually line them up together. I always duct tape the edge of them together and on the edges because I always, without fail, trip on them. So I duct tape them. I have some thicker nap rollers for my little inch brush. I have my blue tape. I have a nice brush here for when I spill paint on cement or anywhere. It happens all the time, and I clean it up with this and some latex paint remover. I have my rollers, so I have some metal 2-inch rollers. I have these that go on my gallons for easy pouring. And then I have my 3 or 4-inch longer rollers too, because I use this for window painting a lot, the bigger ones, and then for smaller spaces I use this. Also has some trays, and I replace these tray liners, and I replace this drawer a lot. What I'm missing, actually, that I keep in a little baggie in here is a little bag of dog treats. So always ask the owner permission and tell them what's in it, just in case they have allergies or they're not friendly. However, I see so many dogs, so dog treats are essential. Okay, bins number 2 and 3 are the same. So I have lots of stickers, of course, Crunch Crew. Lots of stickers everywhere. Love collecting stickers. If you have stickers and you want them on my bins, send them my way. Anyways, so this is where I keep all my paint. So in my garage, I have storage bins. Those have quarts of paint to refill depending on sheen and color, etc. So I always just refill my sample sizes. So I'm very lucky, and often I get oops paints for 50 cents of different colors. I don't like mixing my own paint. So 4 drawers. When I was making the decision of different styles for these kind of things, there's like the pack out, there's all kinds of different ones, right? Like Ryobi, all that stuff. I chose DeWalt not only because it was a little bit easier for price, but it was these drawers. So I actually went to Home Depot and got a whole bunch of sample sizes and quarts to see what I can fit in what system and how many I could fit and if it was flat. So that was the key thing. So here, for a lot of people getting these, they want organizers. I do not, because they sit flat. There's nothing here except maybe a little here. And it just fits so many. I think 24, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 probably in this drawer. It does get heavy. I just bought these little things on Etsy to go here because what I don't like is this can tip forward. Well, it's not gonna do it here, but okay, so this whole, it can tip forward actually pretty easily. But if you have these, it prevents that, which is really cool. So I'm getting those in the mail soon. Anyway, so blues and purples, teals and stuff all in here. Greens, I think I have my grays and blacks in here too, because that's just where I had more room. There's a blue overflow, so lots there. Yellows, reds, pinks, oranges. I try not to repeat colors too much, but if I just have one laying around and I have the room, I'll put it in there. And then lots of browns, tans, whites. This is more of a whitish color. This is what I was talking about with the branding and the stickers, so I'll get these from like Michael's and then I'll just put it in here. I only carry eggshell, flat, or matte in my drawers. Okay, let's talk about the base here, because this is the one that you put all of these or a whole bunch of different systems on to help it roll and stuff. Oh, I might regret this. Oh gosh. Okay, This is the handle, but it doesn't go all the way down. That's as far down as it goes. So that drives me bonkers. However, it does do all of this stacked on. I wouldn't go any higher than all of this. It's easy enough to roll. What I don't like is it's not detachable either. I would rather just have a dolly system and then put whatever I want on it. Or, DeWalt, if you could just make a little roller dolly like you have for your XL system, but for this one, just tiny little guys. So I can just roll these along too, instead of, if I have to get in this one, then I have to move these, you know, it's kind of annoying. My other thought is Milwaukee just made one where you pull out a drawer. How convenient is that? I might get that one. So this one might be a mess because I just came back from completing a mural. However, also, one big thing I have to tell you is this lid will just close. It won't stay open. It just closes, and it scares the crap out of you when it happens, because you know it's gonna happen, but you don't know it's gonna happen, and then you forget to close it and it just drops. It scares me every single time I said a bad word and had to cut that out. So this one's always a mess because I just have extras in here, but I always have to get in here to start. So it comes with a little tray. So I have a lighter in here, so I use that during propane season. Make sure it's always full. For some reason, I have shims in there, and I don't know why. Look, more scissors, more silica feltras, another blade, sunscreen. Use this during the summer. This is a new one, but I don't know when it expires. Oh, we're still good. Okay. And then I have another paint mixer. This is the nice one. This is from Handy Pails. I love that it has the holes in it. It's so convenient. It has a little brush here and a paint can opener. Look at that. Or beer can opener, whatever you want to use it for. I have more of these little guys. These I use until they dry up and get so cakey I can't use it anymore. What I love about this bin too is it keeps it moist, so when I put my trays in here, these build up. These are just muffin tins that I buy. They build up, but it does keep the paint moist. When I'm ready for them to dry out, I take them out and I leave them in my garage to dry. So this still has, I painted an ocean sailboat scene today. I just put this in here. I have 3 of these, so I just put this in here because sometimes it's nice to know if you want another color, so I'm excited to have that here. I have my golden high flow black that I use for all my outlining, my handy pail with my lid, with my white paint in here. I usually always carry an extra liner or 2 as well. I have alcohol because sometimes when you get fisheye, you need to wipe it down with alcohol. And in that regard, I carry my Aqua Net. This one's almost out, so I have an extra one here. I always carry Floetrol, dish soap. What is this? Oh, more gloves. I could probably take those out of there. This is actually just leftover gray paint, which is actually fairly dry. I don't know why that's in here. An extra, I usually put Solo cups in this, so I'll keep Solo cups in that. I have my Handy Pail snap cups. And then I have a whole bunch of paint rags. I just leave them in here, and they eventually get to a point where they're like not savable or washable, but sometimes I wash them. My white golden paint, sometimes I use that for lettering. I have a chalk pouncer stuff here, my level down there, and then my can of Marquee ceiling paint here. So this does get kind of heavy. And then this is my little frame here. But it all fits really nicely. I know the Milwaukee one does pull out. I don't know how well that drawer system would work with the weight that I have in this, but it's worth a try. But also, I didn't like the Milwaukee drawer system because they're made for dividers and sectional for organization, and the paint doesn't sit nicely on those. So you fit less, probably a good 10 less because of the divider sections in there that you won't be using. Other random things in my garage that you didn't ask for me to go over, but let's do it. I bring my little giant ladder everywhere for taller jobs. It's kind of a pain in the butt to put in my personal car, so I really want a work fan. I have a small stair stepper that I used to use, but now I use a bigger one, which is actually in my car now out there, and it's a little bit taller and has a shelf as well. This is my Werner bench that I can use to stand on as well. I love it. However, I noticed that I always use it to stand on, and then I end up using it for a shelf instead. For murals, I bring a laser level and the attachment stand-up thing that I actually use for a ring light as well, but this is my Klein laser. A tripod. I used to teach paint parties and teach online, so this is the Archon stand. You can have a iPad. These all come apart, and then you can attach your phone here as well. I always carry 1 or 2 thing of paper towels. I have a lot of little Handy Pail minis, but I've been sad using them because I really want them to have a liner. And I would love to use these more often, but I really want a liner for those. And then more chalk markers and Poscas. I tried to use this with my additional bin, but I didn't like the setup, so I'm trying to figure out how to do those. I don't bring them often or use them often for color, but I know I have them if I need them. My portable generator if I need to, with a hair dryer for murals or different things, like a hair dryer for windows. And then all my speed drops here. I have 2 in the car, I have another here, and I have the new one coming. I'm super excited to try that one. Brush bins. So I have a thing of 4. I got these off of Amazon, I believe, but they all stack together. I don't ever carry it by this, I just carry it by the bottom. In the top, I have all my rounds. I am a paintbrush hoarder. I don't like to wash or take care of my paintbrushes, and I like to have a variety. And I feel like the one I need is always like right here or something, right? So round brushes, I have my angle brushes. Majority of all my makeup brushes that I've been using way more often, but the only downfall is they do hold a lot of water, so just be careful when you put the paint back in the window after rinsing it out. And then it just kind of clips closed. You can unclip the next one, take that off. All my long handled flats, I don't really use these much anymore. All my other flats here, I use these ones a lot. You can get these at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, wherever. Love these ones. You can tell it's cakes onto the handle. I usually use a brush until it's death. I do have some fancy 3D printed organizers that my cousin made, and then I ran out, so I made cardboard ones, so why not? So then I can move this over here. All my big zebra brushes and all my little zebra brushes. This is mostly my mural bin here, and then same with the bottom one. This goes that way. More zebra brushes, different brushes I use for different things. Some brand new babies. And my special one, this was from this year's Rooted here, and then that one as well. And then sometimes this cart folds up. You will probably see it in some of my videos. This cart folds up and it's packable and it's really nice. I put the paints I use on this and then just roll it around window to window. However, right now I went through my paints, so these are all my like satin paints that I've put in for different projects. It's a hot mess. So flats, whatever, satins, and a whole bunch of just random stuff. So right now it's holding all of that, but I do take this cart with me. Okay, we should probably not talk about what's in this corner right now, right next to my fancy bike. Propane tank I bring in the winter. My repaint paint trays, which I'm really hopeful they get a smaller one for my smaller rollers at some time soon. I know that she just started, she's doing excellent, but hopefully soon. And then my plethora of paint everywhere. I can't even tell you. I know exactly what's in this corner and every little space. So nothing too crazy here. Pop-up cones for murals, my mural shield stuff, other pop-up cones here, lots of paint, special pump sprayer for the mural shield. Lots of things that aren't necessarily paint are in there. Old drop cloths, I don't use those anymore. Lots of extra towels. My husband's been looking for that. And then plates. Actually, I do need to pack some plates. Sometimes I use those. And just all my Handy Pail products here. And I think there's a few more paint can openers, probably a million. More chemicals in the back, alcohol, business cards, whatever those things are. So many rollers, overalls, porch and patio paint, rollers, more trays up here, old projector, I don't use that anymore, lots of spray cans, fluorescents, oh gosh, I don't even, attachments for my ladder. However, in there would be my old, not even old, it was pretty much brand new Graco paint sprayer, and I forgot to clean it, and now I don't even want to look at it. Paint jackets are always hanging up everywhere. And my heated jacket, I love this thing so much. I have a replacement battery as well. Hooks up right here. It's nice and thick and it's so cute and I just love it. And it just keeps me nice and warm for about 4 hours. I even have my own scaffolding actually that goes, I don't even know, but I do have that. I've used that on a few jobs already, so. I also always carry portable potty bags, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and wipes, and I dispose of it at home. I have my step stool, and then this is my system when I'm unpacking it out of the car. If you have any questions, make sure to post them below in the comments, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, feel free to like and subscribe as you wish.